Hey everyone, welcome back to Jay's Paranormal. Hope everyone is healthy and safe and staying home, listening to the powers that be so this coronavirus could get cured, stay away. But I want to kind of not debunk, but bring up certain situations when it comes to electricity. Obviously, the paranormal, in order to make its presence, needs electricity. It feeds off of electricity, whether it be off of yourself or off of the power that's in the home or the building. But what I would like to share is, especially in the older buildings and the older houses, electricity ran through the house is not equally distributed, so to speak. So I'm sure you would plug in your cell phone, and I'm sure your plug sometimes gets very hot. Believe it or not, that's not your plug. That's the actual outlet. I'm sure you've also experienced this in older houses, how sometimes if you plug in your cell phone, something like that, it will actually power up quicker off of other outlets versus, other outlets in the house or in a building. A lot of flickering of lights happen during paranormal videos, and some of that, I'm not saying all of it, but some of it is actually attributed to the electricity and the lack of electricity equally being distributed throughout the house. And lights flickering is a big example, as I'm sure a lot of people in their house see lights flickering every now and then. It doesn't mean that you have something paranormal in your house. But don't get me wrong, I know that the paranormal need as much power, electricity, to do whatever they do, pretty much, whether it be to move something, even to communicate, takes a lot of energy to do so. And I just wanted to make that clear because some people are claiming that their houses are paranormal because their lights are flickering. Again, if you live in an older house, 20, 30 years old, I know in the house I'm currently renting, I also own a different house, but the house I'm currently renting and living in right now with my son is about, I believe, 35 years old. And there's lights that go on and off, there's flickering that happens. I consider myself very much an empath, and I feel very comfortable in this house. That's the first thing I actually look for when I rent a house. This is actually the first house I rented in about 8 years, but I went through a lot of different houses before I chose this one, and I felt very safe and very comfortable in this house. And God bless, let's hope it stays that way. But I just wanted to give you a little bit of education on that, as, like I mentioned before, this is probably the most, what's the best way to say it? This is probably the best example in terms of the phone chargers, when they get super hot. There's just way too much electricity going through that individual outlet, and you may want to be careful because that can start fires and stuff like that. But again, I just want to not debunk 100%, but just say that when electricity or lights flicker, it doesn't necessarily mean it's something paranormal. Again, the distribution to the electricity into the house is not broken up evenly. Actually, I'm in the solar business, and just FYI, you can get your solar quote at getyoursolartoday@gmail.com. But learning the solar business, that was very much part of the education or part of the training. because what the solar panels do is they go into what's called a microinverter, and what that microinverter does is make sure that the electricity gets distributed, distributed, excuse me, throughout the house very evenly, and there's also a monitoring system on that. But the distribution of power within a house when the house is old is not equal. Again, one outlet will work better than the other. Some outlets don't work at all. The house that I'm in right now, I mean, I'm a pretty handy person. Electricity is one thing I really don't like to mess with. Sometimes I do. Obviously, if you do, turn off the circuit breaker, be smart. But I just wanted to let you guys know that, you know, if you have lights flickering in your house, again, it's probably just has to do with the electricity and the distribution of the electricity. Anyway, I hope everyone's safe, and I want to thank all. Please subscribe and like if you would like to see more content, as I will try to give you more content and educate you guys some more. So, again, I hope you guys are blessed and staying healthy. Have a great night.